Jesus didn't get crucified. That was one of the things that all sorts of people, they love the teachings, but they couldn't deal with that. Why? You should be glad. You'd think you'd be happy that the person that, what he stood for and whether he ascended. He said, well, can't do anything more here, but we did what we could and we left the books behind. It's time to go. He went out through the Ark of the Covenant, which is one of the gates. But this story of crucifixion was created and contrived by the Anunnaki, almost like a tongue-in-cheek, very sick joke. Because what was crucified was the Christos D12 frequency in the human body. And we have a diagram that we showed, we got that one out in Kauai, that shows the axiotonal lines in the human body. And it shows where the blockages are that have been created by certain technologies the Anunnaki have been using. You have your crown of thorns, you have your nails in the palms, you have your nails in the feet, and you have the sword wound. I mean, it's almost like a sick joke, some of it. Yeah. So, if we can be, and you guys can, I can feel it, can be mature enough to say, all right, so, we always knew there was a truth behind these books. Didn't quite know it was that one, but there's a technology that's going with this. We find symbols there. Symbols called, in Revelations you'll hear about, after all this mess happens with the 7 seals, as if that wasn't bad enough. Shows you how merciful this God is. Well, after the 7 seals basically rip apart the planet, because you get, I think on the 4th seal is when the big earthquake comes. It's the 4th or the 5th, where the big earthquake comes and no mountain or island is left in its place, right? This is seal 4 or 5. We're already on 3. So this is why we're really hoping to get the round tables going. But after all of that stuff, right? After the 7 seals, how much can you do to a planet already? Because after that, you end up with the 7 angels and the 7 trumpets. Now we find, as we go through the technological translation of what angels and trumpets and doves and all these kind of things in Revelations are, these are referring to technologies. The trumpets are a very specific type of waveform, of remote broadcast waveform technology that works through the APIN systems, and it creates even more mess than the smaller systems that the Jehovah's implants did. So there's this whole process of learning to read what is really being said in the book of Revelation. Once we understand that we're not dealing with a God that's wrathful here, this is a relief, actually. Because if you think about it, if there's a God that because you guys were bad, I'm going to do this to you, I mean, that's like a parent that says, because you didn't clean your room, I'm going to skin you alive. You know what I mean? I'm going to break, your arm and 2 of your legs because you didn't put your clothes away. This is the mentality that's demonstrated in the way that book is written. Wrathful gods are not mature gods. And honestly, there is a God that we're all a part of and all connected to. That those wrathful gods live within too. They're like baby godlets that haven't figured out how it works yet. But if we can realize the truth that's been hidden in Revelations, in the Bible stories, and there's truths that are hidden in other ones too. But the big ones were the big surprise they had in store for us during the stellar activation cycle. We already are getting the information out there on the fact that these Jehovah's implants exist. And there are technologies of the body and mind and spirit. If you know how to run frequency with your body, which is what we're teaching, you can override the effects they will have on your personal body. And it's not always easy.